Oh, isn't he adorable?
Nope.
Well, this is me. My name is Ben. And this is our mega super ultra special 32,464 subscriber Q&A video. So we're gonna bring you guys along with me for my morning routine and start answering your questions right away. Of course, step number one is to wake up. What? Holy crap. Go find your mother.
1 hour later.
Sam DeVries, have you ever pulled any family members over? Oh, heck yeah. I think it was my mom the very first time. But it was a legitimate stop because I waited for her to run the stop sign in our neighborhood where we grew up because I knew that she would. Everybody runs it. Number 2, decontamination.
Hey, Tristan asks, have you bought Stellar Lumens yet?
Stellar what? I don't even know what that is.
Stellar sounds like stars.
What?
The answer is no. Number 3, beautification. Dylan Cranfield asks, have you ever had to arrest any family members? Thanks. No. Dylan, I've never had to arrest any family members, and I probably wouldn't. If they had to be arrested because of what we would call a conflict of interest, we would call another agency or another police officer to handle that. Number 4, exercise. From the Derpy One, would you rather be a British officer or stay in America? In Britain, we don't have guns, and officer death rates are way lower. I was just wondering your view on the matter. Thanks from Wales. Derp, I think it sounds way cool to be a British police officer. It'd be really fun if I could have the chance to come over and like spend a few weeks, be a cop over there, and they come over here. I know they actually do exchange programs like that. But as far as like the day-to-day work and which I would enjoy more, I have no idea because I've never been over there. I have no clue what it's like. All right, a few more questions while on the hoverboard. I kind of like this. Nexterity, does your department have a police explorer post? Nexterity, yes. Actually, my department does have an explorer post, and they do a lot of stuff for the department. Very, very cool program. If you're thinking of getting into law enforcement, highly recommend you look into whether or not a local agency has an explorer post. If you can get into one, definitely one of the best things you can do to prepare for this career or get an idea if it's something that you might enjoy doing. Number 5, a delicious, nutritious breakfast. Jay Sinfield, as a police officer, is there much difference between your winter and summer uniform? And as far as your vehicles go, is there anything special they have to do to keep the engines ticking over or tire changes to keep your cars roadworthy? I'm assuming they still let you near the cars in winter, and if they do, then there's one question I know you'll be able to answer. Do you get into more or less trouble if you break a car in winter compared to breaking one in summer? Surely winter extremes mean they cut you some slack. Jay, what the heck is that supposed to mean? In answer to your first question, yes, there is a difference between summer and winter uniforms. They give us long sleeve shirts, we've got coats, we've got jackets. Personally, I stay in the short sleeve uniform pretty much throughout the whole year because we spend most of our time in our cars. I prefer to stay comfortable in my car, so I use the short sleeve uniform all year. And then if I get out and I'm going to be out of my car for a while and it's cold, I just put on a jacket. And I don't know what you were getting at the second question. I don't break cars. My cars break, so I don't know how to answer that. Hippopotamus Gloves asks, my question is, have you ever had to use your gun? If not, have you ever come close to using it? Hippopotamus, I use it all the time. Training, practicing, qualifying on the range. I'm assuming you're asking if I've ever had to use it out in the field. The answer is no, but yes, I've come very, very close. Some of the scariest stuff that I've had happen on my job. Mr. Cod Elite 1, what are your go-to winter life hacks for not turning into a snowman being a cop in the cold? You know what? I think the best thing for me is trying to stay in my car as much as possible. If it's snowing and ice and like freezing rain outside, I am not going to be pulling people over even for decent traffic violations. Now, if we have to get out of our car for like traffic control on an accident or something, I just, throw on the coat and throw on a hat. I usually like a ball cap to keep the wetness off the head. But sometimes there's not much you can do other than just suck it up and get through the call as quickly as you can and then thaw it in your car. Ooh, Cody asked a deep question. If you could go back and change your career, what would you do? Cody, I don't know that I would actually change anything. I'm one of those that believe that everything that's happened in my life has happened for a reason. It's led me to a good place. I'm happy with the decisions I've made. I've loved my job. I've loved my career. I still do. That doesn't mean I'm not very much looking forward to retiring and doing something else, because I think there's tons of cool things to do for a job, and I'm looking forward to doing something else. Paul Jameson, what's your favorite cop car light switch position? Interesting question. So Paul's asking, out of all the modes that we can select on our light bar or our emergency lights, what's my favorite? I've never really thought of it in terms of having a favorite, but I guess the one I use the most would be mode 3. Anybody that's not familiar, most police cars have a lever type control button that selects what mode the lights are on. You can have lights flashing just in the back, you can have them front and back, and you can have everything lit up, including the white lights that are in most light bars these days. Greg Evans, cops' opinion on radar detectors. Should they be legal, and do you think they actually work? Do you pull over loud cars? No, I don't pull over loud cars unless there's some other kind of violation, because I don't have a decibel reading meter, so I can't, technically stop you and tell you your car's too loud if I can't prove that it's too loud. Radar detectors, I've used them before. I went out to Texas and bought a car when I was in college, and I bought a radar detector for the trip back because I wanted to go fast and I wanted to avoid getting pulled over. Personally, I have zero problem with radar detectors if they remind you to slow down when they go off, knowing that there's cops in the area radaring, and it gets you to be safer. Fantastic. It's not about us getting the win and getting the ticket. It's all about you slowing down and being safer as a driver. And if that gets you to do it, that's all good in my book.
Number 6, garbage taking out. Okay, we're done with the morning routine. Now it's just on to the questions.
Reginald Austin, FuzzFam, why do you have to be 21 to be a cop? Do you know why you have to be 21 to be a cop?
Because,
Do you have to be, how old do you have to be to carry a pistol?
21.
Boom! Federal firearm laws. You gotta be 21 to have a handgun.
There's pink gum in our driveway.
Pink gum in our driveway?
Yeah.
Say it's not true. That's not pink gum.
There's a balloon.
That looks like a piece of a balloon. Oh, my feet are freezing.
This is a balloon.
Woo! It's actually cold out here. What am I doing? LTA Games, FuzzFam, are you coming to Canada or not, eh? Ugh. Bro, I told you before, I've been kicked out of Canada when I was 15. I was like banned from the country. We've been over this. I think I told that story before. I mean, the ban has to have passed by now, right? So maybe, yeah, I'd love to come back to Canada. John Freeman, when are you going to make a video with Officer 401? Fantastic question. Probably when he either comes to Utah or I head out to his neck of the woods. We have talked several times about doing a video collaboration together, and I guarantee at some point in the future we will. We're just very, very far apart, so whenever we can get together, it'd be awesome to do a video with 401. Nick Rhodes, do you like fishing? Absolutely, I love fishing. I'm just too lazy to go. Last time I went fishing was when we lived in Alabama when I was at flight school for the Army. I used to get crappie all the time in the lake that was on the military base. It was awesome. Paul Kragenbrink, my kin. Those of you that have been here a long time may remember we've mentioned Paul Kragenbrink several times. It's my wife's cousin. He also has a YouTube channel. Would you rather fight one baby dragon or 100 kittens? Easy, one baby dragon. I'm allergic to cats. Give me that dragon all day long. Herbert Crane, FuzzFam, how long till you break your car again? I've got my eye on you, Herbert. Stetson Patton, hey. Devin Key, one of the hardest things about being a police officer. Ooh, that's a great question, Devin. Fantastic question. You know, there's a lot of things that can be tough about being a cop, and it depends day to day. I think one of the hardest things about being a cop is finding a way to stay grounded, because you're constantly dealing with so much negativity, right? And so when you're trying to do your best and trying to serve the public and do good, and you've got that perception that everyone is hating you, you start to like build this negativity bias. And I think most cops have to constantly battle that with something, whether it's hobbies or family or their faith. We see some pretty bad, messed up stuff that you're not gonna see in most other careers. So just finding a way to deal with that can be difficult. McGee Films, what made you start YouTube? And do you have any tips or tricks you could share for new YouTubers? Thanks. McGee, I'm actually looking at doing a video on this topic, on being a YouTuber, and some encouragement for people thinking of getting started. So I might dedicate an entire film to that, but just really quickly, we did a video on why I started YouTube. I'll just put a link to it up here. And as far as tips or tricks, I'll just give you one of the best ones ever given to anybody that's looking at doing YouTube. That was given by Roman Atwood to Casey Neistat when he was getting started. Keep uploading. If you're constantly working on content and getting better as you go and keep consistently putting out videos, you will grow. And more than likely, you will get better at your craft. You'll get better at what you're doing because you go back and watch your old videos, realize, man, that was not that good. Or you'll just cringe and realize, I could do this better. But you can't learn that if you don't just start doing it and don't put out videos. The more you do it, you're gonna get better at doing it. If you're able to criticize and analyze yourself and apply those things, you know what I'm trying to say. Clips, what is your favorite or least favorite thing about being a police officer? I think what's always been one of my favorite things is the autonomy that you have as a cop. What I mean by that is your ability to be your own boss, essentially. You get to go out and do your thing during the day. Yeah, you get calls for service. Dispatch will call you and tell you you need to go somewhere, and you'll go there, but you'll have a lot of time in between calls that you can pretty much go do whatever you want. You don't have somebody leaning over the cubicle, analyzing your work, telling you what you need to do next. And also to have a variety of things that happen every day as a cop is different. Even the same type of calls you will get will all be unique and different. So it's constantly changing, constantly evolving. The job really is never the same. It's something different every day. And for people that like variety in their work and don't know what to expect the next day, that's a really good thing. Stephen Smith, two-part question. Where would you guys travel if money was no object? And secondly, does the fuzz felon have a good lawyer for breach of contract and theft by eating? If you guys saw our last video, that's what that question is talking about. The violation of the bunt. She really should have her own lawyer. I think for a family vacation, if money were no object, I think one of the first things we'd want to do is go on a Disney cruise. Our kids would just eat that up. Plus, Disney is really, really good at working with kids with food allergies, which some of you know our oldest boy has severe food allergies. And so that would be a really nice treat for him to be able to eat restaurant food and the food on the ship and not feel excluded.
Mind Beats says, ever considered switching to another pathway in law enforcement, like becoming a Fed or whatnot? Actually, Mind Beats, my grandpa used to be an FBI agent. He always wanted me to be an FBI agent. But no, I always wanted to be a local cop. I never really thought about doing anything federal. Adventurous Casilla asked kind of a similar question that's already been asked about what I like about being a cop, but also says, if you had the chance to choose a different career path, what would you do?
Wow!
Hey guys, look who it is. We got Mikey here to help us out.
Patrick says, can you do a patrol vlog?
Thank you, that was really good. Can you do a patrol vlog? So, really quick answer to this question, Patrick. If you're talking about like other channels have done, like Deputy Tatum or Nick at Miami PD, in the car as I'm working, recording me go out and handle calls, no, I can't do a patrol vlog. That's because of my department policies and procedures. But if you're talking about a video where I just talk about what I do on patrol, yes, that's actually something I'm working on doing. It'll be one of our next videos coming out soon. All right, back in the studio to answer just a few more, and then we gotta wrap this thing up. Vlog epicness. Would you rather know how you were going to die or when you were going to? Oh, I hate those questions. Actually, now that I think about it, it seems pretty clear. I'd rather know how I'm gonna die. When? Will Crombie, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Question of the day. That is the best question I've ever heard of in my life. Would that be an African or European swallow? Thought you'd give me on that one, huh? Harsh Bansal, what are people's reaction when they get tased? Harsh, did you not see our duty belt tour video? I'll put a link to it up here. Everybody reacts to it a little bit differently. Here's me being tased. Oh, that hurts so bad. And here's some random drunk guy running from the cops being tased. Personally, I like the second one better. I think it was a better reaction. Austin Myers, this looks like more of a comment than a question, but Ben, that name is pretty awesome, as it is my son's name as well. Right on, Ben. Right on. I'm a huge fan of your videos. I'm pretty new to the channel, but I have watched pretty much all of your videos. As a future police officer, it is comforting to know you were able to spend so much time with your family and have a pretty normal life. Keep up the great work, guys. Well, thanks, Austin. And yeah, the key word there is pretty normal. We do have a great life. We feel very, very blessed and have a good time. But thank you, Austin, and good luck on your journey to become a police officer. We look forward to having you around on the channel. Along that same vein, Chris Beam says, thanks for the content. I've been at the police academy in Oregon for the last month, and I'm a huge fan. God bless. Well, Chris, good luck on the rest of the academy. Oregon is up by where I grew up. Those are my old stomping grounds. I don't know how to say the name, but that is one sweet looking name. Hi, I love your videos. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Well, however you say your name, we're glad you're here. That is awesome. Saudi Arabia. Are you kidding me? Patrick Brown, would you leave the police force if YouTube could be your full-time job? Patrick, I got to admit that question has crossed my mind because we've had so much fun doing YouTube. We love what we're doing with this. But you know what? I enjoy my job as a cop, and I've got 7 more years for a full state retirement. That's not something I can just walk away from because that's worth quite a bit of money. But I guess the question is if you could. Yeah, you know what? I would seriously consider that. I think I would. All right, guys, that is it. There were other questions. I apologize. We just couldn't get to all of them. We will try to do more of these in the future. But thank you again. We love you guys. Hope you have a great rest of the week. We look forward, as always, to seeing you on the next video. Peace.
Let's level up. Pedal to the metal when I play the cut. Doing